race number 10 at New Smyrna. Sam, you've been almost in the booth with me here all season. And now that we're in the final race, looks like we've got 13 cars on track and qualified. Who have you got for the final race?
I've got to have the pole sitter for this last one. It's got to be Tommy Krenborg, the person who's practically locked in the championship this year. All he's got to do is run the first lap, and he's got this thing won. Another car to look out for has got to be Tyler Cox. He's someone who had a bad qualifying time. He's going to be starting in 7th, but I think my money's on that 88 machine.
Yeah, I'd really like to see if Tahan Denk can actually pull out another miracle. I mean, he won the first race of the season. It's only fitting for him to win the last one.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a great storyline for him. There's also other things to worry about. This track is very difficult, and passing people is going to be hard. I think the one thing I'm noticing during practice is once someone's in front of you, it's very hard to get past them. You got to use your bumper to get past some of these guys, or to see the driver in front of you make a mistake. I think that's the one thing that we're going to have to watch out for throughout this race.
Absolutely. And it's worth noting that, with Krenborg, how dominant he's been all season. These last few races, he's really slipped up. I mean, I don't think he's finished in the top 3 these last 3-4 races.
I mean, the last race, there was an incident where he got basically destroyed. A car ran into him. I don't remember what car it was, but it really wasn't his fault for that accident. And most of these cautions that he's been a part of the last couple of races hasn't really been his fault. She's just been caught up in these accidents.
Absolutely. As you see, we're just pacing down here. Looking through the field, here's the thing. It's a lot thinner field than normal, but a lot of names that we've talked about all season just being conservative, calm, keeping their car clean. Michael Timmerman, Scott Rickard, Patrick Hosier. As the race begins, Tommy Krenborg's taking a good lead going into 1.
Going into the lead and going to be holding this out. I mean, this is what I'm talking about with, people are going to be up front. It looks like this track is really just a 1 lane. Stay at the bottom and hope for the best. Don't go too high up like we were seeing Krenborg go. He was going a little bit high there, which was giving Tahan Denk a chance to come in low, but he just wasn't close enough.
Well, if you remember back in our original modified season, I believe it was, I'm trying to think, Alex McCollum and Zach Novak. They're going side by side in these corners. You can make that high line work. You just got to have enough grip to stay up there. And right now, if these tires as cold as they are, I don't think it's going to really grip that.
Tires cold and really not enough grip. But a car that's on the move right now is Tyler Cox, who's up to 4th. He's already passed 3 drivers. And he's a car that's going to be on the move and wants to get up front to battle up with this 88 car.
Tyler Cox had a dazzling start last week. He filled in for, I believe, another driver in the race before, but last week was his first official appearance. And he lit up the charts, finished first, qualified on pole, led almost every lap, if not every lap. He's definitely trying to make it a repeat appearance.
Now, the 88 machine has locked up the championship, but I gotta say, one of the cars that surprised me with just the consistency throughout the whole entire season, it's gotta be Rick Thompson Jr., who's in 7th right now. He's a car that really was consistently just was up front most of the time of the season.
Also, got the Timmerman a little bit.
But he's a car that's been staying clean throughout all these races, so I'm wondering where he's going to finish at the end of the day. As for 88 lap, he's got 80 laps this race and coming to about 74 to go.
Rick Thompson is pretty much the star model of just consistency and keeping your nose clean. I mean, as long as you can finish these ripping points, he's currently within the top 5, if I'm correct. I think he's 4th place.
I believe so. I believe he's in the top 5 points. As the car we were talking about moving up, it's going to be Tyler Cox. He's right on the bumper of Nick, of the 10 machine.
The 10 car of Nick Rayborg. And Nick has had quite a eventful season. I remember him on his roof. Can't remember which race it was. And it looks like Tyler Cox may have let off a little bit to give Nick Rayborg at least a little bit of motivation to get going. As you see, he passes Tahan Denk. Now Tyler Cox is in the rear bumper of Tahan Denk.
I don't know what's going on with Tahan Denk, but his car does not look like it is happy. Just losing 2 positions there. Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to be losing any more spots, and hopefully he's able to collect his card. Maybe he got a little loose, and that's what happened as he's trying to fight back on Tyler Cox.
Definitely very surprising as we saw. Oh, caution's out. Looks like Ken Zeems, Michael Timmerman, Rick Thompson Jr., 3 of the cars that we were talking about and praising their finishing ability. Looks like they've all got involved in an incident. It may have been a little bit of retaliation from that earlier incident between the 74 and the 17. Go ahead and take a look back here.
Looks like 2 cars trying to go for 1 spot, and that's not possible. I mean, these machines are going to run into one another, and they are going to collide.
I just noticed a strange name connect. I noticed that Riley O'Keefe actually connected. So I'm not sure if he's going to start making any laps.
Do not believe that he's going to be able to run any laps. It's a little too late for him to start be running laps.
Yeah, actually, I'm almost looking at that incident. Looks like Rick Thompson Jr. didn't notice that the 17 was up high and just kind of came up like he wasn't even there.
Yeah, I mean, 2 cars trying to get to the same spot. It looks like Rick Thompson might have some engine damage, which could cost him. And with engine damage, like we've been seeing throughout the year, I mean, throughout the season, it's been about 30 minutes of engine damage. And recently, our races have been 30 minutes long, so his race could be done.
I mean, you got to remember these modifieds. I mean, while they do look pretty big and tough, I mean, you got to remember all that's protecting that engine is that little roll bar in the front. I mean, they're almost vulnerable from all of her sides.
They really are.
As caution's currently out, Tyler Cox managed to move up from 5th to 3rd out of that starting order. Taehan Dank, let me go ahead and finish my thought that I had earlier. Taehan Dank really looks strong in practice. He looked strong in qualifying, and come the race time, he hasn't had the bite that he did earlier.
And just looking at other cars that were starting up front, I mean, Caleb Fage, he's also a car that faded back. He's back in 5th right now. But our biggest mover has to be Tyler Cox. And I'm wondering who else is going to be our biggest mover, or if it's just going to be Tyler Cox. Another car that moved up has got to be Jody. Sorry about this. I am tripping up on my words tonight. Jody Banfield is a car that also has moved up quite a few spots.
I'd be quite interested to see how he goes for most of the night, because in practice he didn't look like he had a good read on the track. It just didn't look like he had too much grip and he wasn't comfortable with it. So I'd be really impressed to see how he develops over this race and just seeing other drivers and trying to learn the lines.
That's the one thing about this track, is it is a very tricky track. Most of these short tracks are tricky, but this one is probably one of the higher banking corners coming off of 3 and 4. I mean, 1 and 2, and 3, 4 is a lot more flatter as the pace car is off, and we go green.
Kremborg is another strong restart into 1, as it almost looks like a gaggle of cars back there for top 5. Still on the move on the back bumper of Nick Rayborg now. It looks like the field has pretty much settled down to single file. No one's really tried that high line yet. Don't know if not a grip up there or just no one's brave enough yet.
Not a lot of passing going on, except for if you head back to about 7th.
Man, Tyler Cox gets such a good run off of his corners. I mean, he gets great exits of corners, but just the entry he's really lacking on.
I was watching Tyler Cox throughout practice just because of how dominant he was last week. I wanted to see how good his car is going to be this week. And I was seeing that he was really pushing his car and seeing how far he can push his car off these exits. Because if you just get on the throttle too soon, these cars are going to want to spin around on you. And it's looking like Tyler Cox is slowly figuring out how to get off these corners a little bit faster than everyone else. But as I say that, he's starting to fade back, and it looks like Taehan Dank is trying to make a move.
Well, but Taehan Dank was one of the cars that actually experimented with the long run. And that's really what's important was, hey, yes, you can do fast 20 laps, but obviously this is an 80-lap race, and to replace tires on these cars, you almost put yourself a lap down.
Tyler Cox is real sideways there.
It looks like he was asking for a little bit too much real estate there, and his car just couldn't handle it. As it looks like Caleb Fage back in the pack actually hit the wall.
That was Banfield that got into the wall as Banfield and Phage are getting into it side by side.
And you've got to think, I mean, with the experiences they'll get out of this season, I mean, you've seen a lot of drivers names that at the beginning of the season they've said, "Oh, I've never driven a modified car of this series. I'd have no experience in this car." And they've really come to life.
I mean, that's what a full season can do with these machines. Also practicing, getting ready for this race. These tracks are very tricky, and luckily these setups have settled down compared to how much it felt like it was a wreck fest at the beginning of the season to where we are now, where we're running some very long green flag runs, and it's good to see how these drivers have evolved throughout the season.
I would say definitely just the familiarity of the drivers. Because here's the thing, when you're starting out a new series or a new season, I mean, just almost, I'm trying to think of the best word for this, almost chemistry of sorts. Not as almost like a teammate chemistry, but just, hey, you know what moves a guy will do, you know if we're going to push the issue, or, you know, hey, he'll drive it deep in the corner, but he'll drive it deep enough where he's not going to wreck me. It's just a general trust.
Banfield is struggling. He is coming off these corners so loose. Coming off turn 4, he was practically sideways until he got to crossing the finish line. He is just struggling right now to keep this car straight.
Yeah, looking at his last lap's about a good 4 seconds off the, looks like the Tyler Cox machine. He's currently ran a 17.159 as his last lap. Tyler Cox ran a 16.770 last lap.
Just looking at the packs right now, it looks like our top 4 are pretty much, now top 3 or 4 are pretty much on top of each other. And there's a slight gap to the 33 machine of Caleb Phage. And then there's another gap to our 6th place, where there's a battle with Jody Banfield, my bad.
Absolutely. Looking at that, it's worth noting that only Ken Zeems came in this week. Unfortunately, Kenny Zeems doesn't look like he was available. Kenny Zeems running the 15 modified machine. And it's worth noting, all these drivers are here back at the pack. Jody Banfield's shown flashes of speed this season. He's kind of struggled with consistency track to track. Some tracks he's up front, he's having fun. And other tracks he's back here in the pack just trying to learn or trying to get experience at the same track. Scott Rickard, here's the thing, he's been let most of this season, but he's just come away with good finishes, and here's the thing, finishes, and that's really what counts.
Just looking at how far back we have from the leaders to the 10th place, they're about almost 10 seconds difference. If we keep on going green flag runs, we could be having some lap traffic that could affect this outcome of this race, as we're coming close to about 6 laps to the halfway marker.
And you're watching that, it looks like Nick Rayborg off of turn 2 got really loose and actually opened up the door for Tyler Cox to get right back on his bumper. As it looks like this top 3 battle have really just kind of scrunched back up to the 8th.
Yeah, these are 3 cars that have been quick. Like, for the past 3 races, they've been up front. It's just there's been issues where Tyler Cox, I can say that he's new. He's dominated the last race, but he's been looking quick the last 2 weeks. But the top 2 have been quick the last 3 laps. It's just there's been instances where they've been caught up in wrecks where they weren't able to finish in the finishing spots that they wanted to.
I mean, like we've stated all season, I mean, modifieds are really all about consistency. They're almost underpowered F1 cars where, here's the thing, you have to focus on the line every lap. And if you get off of this line, I mean, it's not like an F1 car. It's not like a cup car, but you see running around where, hey, I've got enough power where I can make the outside line work. It's more or less, hey, at these tracks, the lower line is the fastest line. If you get off that fastest line, hey, you have an opportunity to lose the pack, lose the lead, or lose the position. So this really praises drivers who can consistently hit their marks. And this is also a good testing ground for anyone who is just trying to learn a track and needs that consistency or wants to learn it, as it looks like Tyler Cox is making a pass now.
Yeah, he's been trying to set this up for the last couple of laps, and oh boy, that 10 machine got sideways. Tyler Cox had to go down low a little bit, but that was close.
It definitely looks like he's trying to push the issue, because I think looking at his last few laps, he's faster than Kremborg. Oh, look at Cox. It's really loose off of turn 4. Just lost all that position. And here's the thing where almost as the crew chief in the back of your head needs to be telling you just to settle down. Here's the thing. You don't want to burn up your tires trying to get past second place. So when you finally get to first and first been on cruise control this entire time, you've got nothing left for him.
Yeah, we're past halfway. It's time to hunker down now.
Look at Rayborg making a charge at Kremborg.
Trying that outside line, but I don't think there's enough grip up there. But he is gaining.
And obviously, with it being only only 80 laps, we're already past halfway here at lap 38 to go. And it just looks like Nick does not look comfortable coming off those corners. He just looks really loose. It's almost like he just can't get can't get it planted.
Now we've got the battle for the lead going on here, while we also have a battle coming up for 6th place.
And that was a really bad move from Kremborg to give him the bottom line. Now Rayborg is trying to top line. Rayborg's in the wall. Looks like he tried to bargain for a little bit too much real estate there, and Kremborg was already present, so. But that's opened up the door for Tyler Cox to now get to the back bumper of Kremborg to challenge.
A little bit of an update on what's going on in the back of the pack. Battle for 6 is still going on with Jody Banfield and Ken Zeems, while also Scott Rickhart is also on top of these two while they're battling it out.
I just want to give a shout out to the guys in the back, basically the back 3, which is Patrick Hosier, Michael Timmerman, and Rick Thompson Jr. Rick Thompson Jr. is still on pit road getting his engine damage repaired. Michael Timmerman's just riding around, logging laps. Just finished. Caution's out. Not sure what the caution was for here. Oh, it looks like Caleb Fage. Let's go ahead and take a look back here. I'm not sure if he may have gotten a little bit of assistance with that.
Caleb Fage looks like he's all by himself. This is something I was talking about earlier. If you get on the gas just a little bit too soon, the car just wants to snap around, which it did there for him.
It's more or less of just... And here's the thing, it's nighttime, track temperatures are cooling down, and here's the thing, if you overheat these tires, or those tires are not heated enough, there is such a thing as not pushing hard enough and getting these tires
Tyler
too
Cox
cool.
Trying to get on the pit road, just spins around and smashes his front bumper. Tyler Cox and both Tommy Kremborg both almost at the same move of just dumping it off, trying to get into the pit road.
As we look back here, yeah, it definitely looks like just the banking. I think maybe he just got the back end just a little bit too slick. Doesn't look like too much damage. The front bar is bashed, but it doesn't look like he's lost any other power or damage other than that. We'll have to see when they go back green if that's going to affect him any. Right now, actually, Tyler Cox would be the leader.
It looks like Cox only went for 2 tires, while it looks like Kremborg had some issues on pit road, and he lost a ton of positions.
That's a bold move. I don't know if I would have went for 2 in Cox's position, because we've seen those last about 40, 50 laps where Cox has just been burning up these tires, and 2 tires are really going to work against 4 new ones.
Also, with the damage up front, you don't know how that's going to be affecting this car. Rick Thompson Jr. is back out on the field, just out driving.
Nice to see him come back out of pit road. Here's the thing with it being the final race of the season, always want to see everyone finish.
Car that also had issues on pit road is going to be Tahan Dank. He's going to lose a ton of spots, going back to 8th place.
That's really a tough break for him being in there. Last thing you want to do is have to burn up your stuff just getting back to where you were, so once you get back to where you were, you can't even battle.
With Fage spinning out, Dank losing time on pit road. Jody Banfield is going to be moving up into the top 5, and so will Scott Rickhart.
It's going to be interesting to see if Jody Banfield can hold it up there in fourth. I said he made that strong charge earlier, but for some reason, after he touched the wall, he really started to fall back. Hopefully, it looks like he may have gotten 4 fresh new tires, so maybe he can go ahead and charge up the field and stay a little bit longer. Tyler Cox choosing the high line for this restart.
Might be just wanting a car on the low side. But Cox did not get a great start.
Definitely looks like Cox may be a little powered here as Nick Rayborg takes back his lead. Remember, Nick was put in the wall about 10, 20 laps ago by the 88, so not sure if that's going to be such an easy...
The two machine of Tyler Cox is going to be holding up Jody Banfield as Cox pulls high and lets everyone by.
It definitely looks like Cox has some engine damage they just didn't expect. Definitely a tough break for him.
It is a very tough break. But Ken Zeems, due to the fact that Cox is having issues, is now moving up to third, right behind Borg and Renberg.
And that's really awesome to see. I mean, Ken Zeems has had a mixed bag. I mean, he'll finish good one race, next race he'll end up hitting someone or getting into a wreck. After that, he'll come back for another good finish, and then that really almost epitomizes, hey, bring me the steering wheel or bring me a trophy.
Yeah, the consistency part that we've always been talking about with these cars throughout the whole entire season. Ken Zeems is always at the speed.
It's definitely very dangerous how high Nick is arcing, because he's giving just a little bit of a hole Kremborg to put his nose in. And hey, right now, when there's 20 plus laps to go, he's not going to put his nose in there right now, but within about 5-10 laps to go, all bets are off.
Well, we've seen Kremborg use his bumper to win a couple races this year, so I'm wondering if he's going to lay back or if he's going to try to make a move early and just try to pull away.
It definitely looks like Kremborg's driving a little bit deeper and a little bit lower than Nick, but I'm not sure if he's just hanging back behind him right now just to limit Nick coming back at him with draft, or...
Car that's slowly starting to move up since we took the green. It's going to be Tahan Dank. He is now up to 6th, starting 8th when we were at the restart. But our biggest loser has got to be Tyler Cox, who's got the engine damage, who is in pit row trying to get that fixed.
That's definitely unfortunate. I mean, look at the names we have here at the top 5. Scott Rickard, unfortunately, is going to lose 5th place with Tahan Dank here in just a moment, but Jody Banfield, Ken Zeems, people we saw hanging back and behind the top 5 really started to make a charge up here. Kremborg going on that low side of Nick Rayborg. Shoves Rayborg up the hill.
Gets the move done, and Ken Zeems now has a chance to go for 2nd.
Wouldn't this be a race to kind of cap off your, I guess, quote-unquote rookie season? Coming in for, I think he came in about 6 races this season. And being able to possibly win your first race, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Ken Zeems trying to figure out how to get around this 10 machine.
Yeah, that's the biggest part of the lesson, is making sure you can get around him cleanly, because here's the thing, if you give him a bump in the corner, Nick's fast enough where he can get back to your back bumper.
Now we got the battle that was going on for the lead with the 10 machine and the 88. But battling for 4th, it's the same 2 cars that have been battling all race long, just in a different spot. It's going to be Jody Banfield and Scott Rickard. They've been on top of each other this whole entire time. And Tahan Dank is now joining the fray with these 2.
I mean, even though it's the last race of the season, I mean, no one gets a night off. You want to go out in the season on a high note, you finish the top 5, you want to have some momentum going towards next season or next series that you're in. This is obviously a good way to do it. I mean, hey, just have a little chip that you can take towards next season saying, hey, I beat him at this track. So when you guys come back, you're here, and here. I just did the fix here, and here.
Yeah, Jody Banfield is our biggest mover from the start of the race to where he's at now. Started 12th, now up to 4th. Great run for him, and hopefully keep that position or even go even further and try to get past Ken Zeems.
Definitely looks like Banfield's taking good care of those tires. He's not burning them up, and looks like he's treating him well here.
While up front, our leaders are trying to get past. It looks like that's Scott. Oh, we got a bump.
Nick just moved him. He slid up 2. That was Rick Thompson Jr. in the 70. Oh, the 88.
Oh, they keep going in. huge wreck with the 88 machine, the 12, and the 74 all getting involved.
That was our point, or basically our championship winner there, and Jody Banfield. Looks like he was the innocent bystander of that. He was having a great run. Let's go ahead and take a look back here and see what caused this incident. Let's go ahead and take a look back at the first, I guess, sign of trouble with the 74 car.
It looked like Kremborg thought he was clear, but he wasn't clear of the 74.
Yeah, because there's a few different layers to this. There was a 74, but kind of kicked everything off. There was a Nick in the 10 car that kind of just shoved. So as we look back here, we're seeing the 74 going to turn 3 and 4. And just look at how fast the 88 kind of just runs up on his bumper. Looks like the 74 did try to get out of the way. He tried to go low. Nick saw the opportunity. He shoves it in low, gets into the left rear of the 88. Doesn't wreck him, but knocks him out of the way. See back here at Rick Thompson Jr. Actually looks like the 74 of Rick Thompson and the quarter panel, and that's what got him around. And Jody Banfield, just an innocent bystander in all this.
Rick Thompson Jr. has been taken to the hauler and removed from the server.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna get a talking to tonight. As we look from the onboard here of the 12 of Jody Banfield, he sees this all going on in front of him and just no reaction time. He gets hooked by the 88 straight into the wall, and that ends his night.
Yeah, he has engine damage, which he's now in the pits trying to get fixed.
And definitely unfortunate for the 88. 88 was having a great run. Definitely an interesting take why the 10 decided to just kind of run it on in there, but I mean, here's the thing, with limited laps to go, I can really understand it. I mean, try to get all you can.
I mean, we're so close to the end here. We're under 10 laps. It's going to be a couple of laps and shootout.
So I got to ask the question. Would you go out and take tires, or would you just take track position?
I would take track position at this point. I would stay out. If you're anywhere behind the top two, I think you'd come in for tires and just try to get the best you can get. But the top two, I don't think they should be moving at all.
So looking at our top 5 here, who out of the top 5 do you think has the best chance of taking home the checker?
I think Ken Zeems probably has the best chance. The 10 machine has gotten into the wall a couple of times. Yeah, he's quick, but Ken Zeems could use his bumper to get around and make a play for the win.
I'd say my money would have to be on Tahan Dank. He's been having a pretty solid run. Nothing spectacular, but you don't need to be spectacular just to get yourself in a good position. And I'm kind of curious if Nick in the 10 has it out of his car.
Well, we're going to find out here. Lights are out on the pace car. Final race of the season. And they're green as the 10 machine gets a huge start with Tahan Dank following suit.
Ken Zeems did not get a good restart there, but it definitely looks like he's trying to battle back. Kind of shuts the door on the 37 of Tahan Dank. That opens up the door for Nick Rayborg to check out.
Looking at the 10 machine, he's checking out so fast, but Ken Zeems is trying to fight back, diving deep into these corners, which he could be losing time. And Scott Rihark is going to be moving up to 3rd place.
Yeah, it really looks like Ken Zeems.
This race up may not be over yet.
Tahan Dank.
Tahan Dank is shoved out of the way by Caleb Fage.
No caution. Looks like he's back with Tommy Kremborg here in 7th and 8th place. Nick Rayborg still checking out. It looks like just Ken Zeems is almost overdriving the to an extent.
I mean, he's trying to push it as hard as he can, but it might be just a little bit too much that he's pushing. As we're coming to, we're at 3 laps to go, coming to 2.
And I mean, look at this top 5. You got the 10 of Nick Rayborg, you got the 90 of Ken, the 05, the 33 of Caleb Fage, and the 9 of Patrick Hosier. Hosier was in the 10th place most of this race. It's definitely a bold move, and even Michael Timmerman involved in that first accident. He's up here in 6th.
Timmerman, Nick got so sideways off that corner, and that's going to be coming to the white flag.
You can't say these drivers. And here's the thing, Nick, he's been denied so many times this season, been in so many wrecks this season. I mean, this is nice redemption going towards next season. Nick Rayborg will be your winner here at New Smyrna. And the most important story of the night, the 88 of Tommy Kremborg will be your champion for the Race of Champions Modified Series.
88 Machine probably didn't get the win that he wanted tonight, but he did get the overall championship. Congratulations to Tommy Krenborg.
And definitely a big excitement for Nick Rayborg. Just something for him to take with next season or the next series for the organization. I see he's celebrating his first win there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our race results here. Obviously, Nick Rayborg comes away with his first win of the season in the last race. So definitely big excitement for him. Ken Zeems in a 90 places his best finish of this season in second place. Just almost a little bit too much distance, not enough time left for him to make a charge. And the 05 of Scott Rickard looks like his best finish of the season. Definitely something to take forward to next season. In the third position, as you round out the rest of the top 5 and top 10, Caleb Fage battles back to a 4th place position. Patrick Hosier, I mean, you got to think a lot of these guys are back behind the top 5, almost out of the top 10 at some points. Michael Timmerman, he was involved in that first incident. He comes home 6th. Tahan Dank, after getting a little bit of a nudge in that last few laps, comes home 7th. Tommy Krenborg, after that big spin, big incident with the 74, comes home 8th, and he is your championship winner. Jody Banfield, Tyler Cox rounds out the top 10. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get...
Just for a little bit clarification, this is actually Nick's second win of the season.
Oh! Really? Huh.
Yeah.
See, I keep getting thrown off by that 2 on the side of the car. I'm just waiting to get our championship winner here in the interview.
But this race, yes, it had so many. It didn't have the big storylines of who was battling for the championship. We already knew who won it. But a great win for that 10 machine. And yes, it's not the ending of this race that the 88 wanted, but he did win the championship, and he did get a top 10 out of the race.
I mean, here's the thing. While it's not a win, it's not how you want to end your season almost on a race standpoint. Here's the thing. You brought home the hardware, and that's what counts.
And other drivers had great nights. Ken Zeems started 9th, getting a 2nd place. Scott Rickard starting 10th this race and finishing 3rd. I mean, both these guys starting in the back of the pack, fought all the way throughout the race, and finishing in the top 3. So congratulations to them.
And definitely just seeing the outpouring support that the Race of Champions Modified Series has actually provided to the iRacing series is always appreciated. I mean, seeing real life organizations always supporting esports and the growing, more or less the growing sport of it, always nice to see. As it does not look like we have... Oh, looks like we have Nick Rayborg here in our waiting room, so let's go ahead and bring him in. I'll go ahead and let Sam lead off here.
Hey, Nick, we've got ourselves, Matt and I, in the booth. Great win today. Came very difficult overall, but you got the win at the end of the day. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, it could have been a lot more cleaner if Tommy wanted to race me that way, but he decided not to. So if he wanted to do the dirty to me, I was going to do the dirty back to him, and that's what I did.
Yeah, I mean, that's expected at short tracks. Then you better finish the job, or it could come back to bite you in the butt. Was there at any point during the race that you thought, hey, I could be losing this race, or were you just feeling confident that you just had to wait until the end to finally make your move?
No, I was just riding behind Tommy. Tyler was using up his tires, and I could tell that he was getting loose under me, trying to pass me, and I was just cruising around behind Tommy, just waiting until like lap 20 to make my move and go.
Matt, you got any questions?
I do have to ask, it doesn't look like you were comfortable all night. I mean, you're sliding up and down the racetrack. I mean, just lack of grip or just pushing?
I wasn't really pushing. I mean, I was just like half throttle coming off because once the tires go away, it's kind of hard to get off the corner.
And definitely, I do have to ask, I mean, with the whole season now complete, I mean, Did the way that Tommy raced you in previous races kind of spark the reaction tonight?
That was the first time Tommy actually did that to me, and I don't take any bullshit from anyone. So if he's gonna park me in the wall, I might as well park him too.
I guess words to live by, but definitely an exciting win. I'll go ahead and open up the floor if you want to thank anyone, thank any sponsors, or
I just want to thank William for having this league. It was quite fun. I hope he does Super Late Models next. I really want to race that. But then I'd thank my girlfriend, and then Crystal Autobody. It's my actual sponsor in real life. And that's about it.
absolutely. Well, congratulations on your win. Hopefully we'll come back for a season 2 and we can go ahead and continue to.
Yep, sure thing. Thank you.
That was our first place finisher, Nick Rayborg. So let me go ahead and bring in Riley. Oh, actually, no, Riley was not our championship winner.
Nope.
Still
waiting for championship winner to get into the lobby of waiting.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get a response here.
But again, like other cars that we've had strong finishes, in the 4th, Caleb Fage, he spun out and somehow came back after that self spin and got 4th. And Patrick Hosier, that been in the back all race long and somehow comes out with the top 5, passing Michael Timmerman and passing Dank. Really not expecting him really to get that top 5 finish, but that's where he finished up at the end of the day.
I mean, just looking at a recap of this entire season, I mean, we started out with numerous cautions. I mean, heck, our second race, we had a lap car take out the leader. I mean, we've really blossomed into great racing, hard fights. I mean, there was like the big 3 of the first 5 races, but the last 5, I mean, it's really diversified. The big 3 kind of broke up, and you see these new names, little lesser known names that kind of jump in late, really come out and, I mean, dominate.
It looks like our championship winner is waiting for us. Tommy Cranborg.
Hey.
Yo.
Tommy, you did it. You've won the championship. I mean, you kind of clinched it last week, but it's official now after this race. How are you feeling?
I'm pretty pissed off the fact that I get taken out by 2 buddies, but
yeah, it was an interesting end of the season for sure with the way that race went. I know it's not the way you wanted it to go, but your car was looking dominant most of the race and looked quick. Was there, before the wreck, were you feeling confident that you were able to win this race?
I was feeling great. I just don't know why I can get blocked by a lap car and then proceed to be dumped by the guy who had him block me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what happened with the 74. It almost looked like you were moving out of the way, decided to jump below and get out of your way as you were passing, which didn't make much sense.
Yeah, he's mad at Riley from like some South Boston race, so he likes to take it out on me because I'm friends with him. But all honestly, he just can't drive. He I think his best finish is top 3. When all the other cars wrecked out, he's awful.
Yeah, but definitely after that event. I mean, here's the thing. Race that you brought home the hardware, and I guess that's what matters.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to win this race just so I can do both, get the championship and the win on the same night, but it's whatever.
Now, I do have to advise, you know you could have done burnouts on the front straightaway, too.
Yeah, I was pissed. I went into their Discord and said some stuff to him.
Yeah, because I saw you stop with the back straightaway, like, oh, no burnout?
Yeah, I was pretty mad.
Well, Tommy, I know this wasn't the way you wanted this race to go, but the season was yours. You were the champion. Congratulations to you on that. Is there anyone that you want to thank for this season?
Oh, yeah, of course, my mom, my dad, you guys up here broadcasting the races every week. ROC, Sim Racing for Mental Health, all of you guys, thanks for putting on races every single week, doing your best to not have to deal with all the cautions. Big thanks to Riley also for spotting this race. He was a big help. Yeah,
I saw Riley come in, and I figured he might make a chance, but I I forgot that if you don't qualify, they don't let you run. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he was just spawning for me. He was trying to calm me down, but it's whatever.
Yeah. Alrighty, so I'll go ahead and let you celebrate. Unfortunately, Gavel and Keith unfortunately weren't here, so
Yeah, I know. It was like I would have liked to see him race more, but I mean, it helped me out. Definitely didn't want to win the championship like that, but
yeah, I mean these last few weeks have been really tough.
yeah, I don't know why we were just. I guess a lot of new drivers came in and just didn't see how we raced every week and just thought, oh, let's wreck everyone. The last 2 weeks, I got wrecked by like new guys. So
Absolutely, but again, you go ahead and won the championship, so I'll go ahead and let you celebrate. I'll move you back down to Riley and Kruska.
all right, thank you. Have a good night.
Oh, you as well. Alrighty, so I mean that was our season. So definitely, there's some mixed feelings, but again, Tommy comes away with the championship, and Nick comes away with the win. I mean, going into possibly a next season, I mean, what highlights do you have to look forward to?
I mean, I think Tommy's still the car to beat. I mean, though he was wrecked the last couple of weeks in this race, he's still the fastest car out there. I would be excited to see Tyler Cox come back for next season. He's another car that could be up there battling with the top three of O'Keefe and with Gavel, but there's a lot of fast cars, a lot of clean racing coming at the end of the season. I was excited to see the way that the cars developed and evolved throughout the season, from our wreck fest in the start of the season to where we are now. Excited to see where next season brings us.
Absolutely. So that would be all from myself and also Sam Dyer. This is Matthew Rodriguez and Sam Dyer as a Flatout Racing Network production. We'll go ahead and wish you guys a good night. We'll see you on Friday.